victimhood is a wounded feminine energy. It's a space where, unfortunately, if you're a man, or that's why I say a man who's not a healthy masculine will take things personally, and will victimize himself and say, like, I work so hard, like I'm so thing, and like I have like all of this like challenge coming my way, and you just keep shitting on myself. And on the contrary, a woman also who feels really victimized is in her wounded feminine energy, where she's like, just as we talked about, all men are assholes, or all like life is so hard, and like I never find good things. But staying in that space is not going to allow you to have something positive, right? Think about this. If you're so used to eating bad fruit, bad bananas, so used to eating bad fruit, if I were to give you a good fruit, a good banana, you'd be like, ugh, what the fuck is this? Because you're just not used to it. You don't know the value of good because you're so used to what's not good in that space, which is why it's important for us to step out of that victimhood space. And that feminine energy that's in that is a wounded feminine. And I'll tell you, all of you women, it's so funny that you'll even say there are no good men out there, because I'm like, man, I know a fucking billion great men. And in the same token, when I talk to a lot of men who are like, dude, all women are just after money, I'm like, are you guys fucked? Like, women out there are so gorgeous, and they're so supportive, and they're so like nurturing, and they're beautiful. You just don't know how to find them because you're looking at them from your wounded eyes. So it's the same on both sides. And I get you guys. I get you, because your wounds have brought you that. Mine did the same. I used to date so many like very masculine women in a row because I wasn't healthy enough in my own masculine energy. And so I wouldn't draw boundaries enough. I wasn't structured enough, disciplined enough, or committed enough. And so what did I attract? Someone who had to like balance out that energy. And it was a woman who did that too much. And so she didn't have any concept of like her own flow and energy and creativity. And then once you get into the deep aspects of the relationship where all like the butterflies and shit start to fly away, then you butt heads. Then you're like, shit, this is not really working out. This is not what I want. And I recognize it was nothing about them. They're just a reflection to the pattern I'm attracting. So instead, I had to work on me. And I said, what is it about me that's attracting these masculine women? What is it about me that's not attracting feminine women? And I realized maybe I'm not stepping into my masculine energy enough. And Hector, you asked that question about, what about men who express themselves feminine, like very feminine? I'll be honest, that was me. I was a very masculine guy when it came to sports and exercise and all of that. But when it came to like other elements of my life, I was more feminine. And so I expressed myself from like the space where I didn't want to take responsibility. I didn't want to take accountability. So, it's so funny because I even attracted, the pattern was so obvious, I attracted women who were like very good at their jobs and made a shit ton of money. And I did so because I didn't want the responsibility of having to provide, which is a very masculine like identity. And so I was just like, oh yeah, let me just attract like this life where everything is just like ready for me and available. But with it comes its own bullshit, right? With it comes the fact that I didn't value myself enough. I would receive a lot of criticism. I had a poorer sense of like self-worth. So what I had to do was I had to separate myself from the relationships, and I had to first value myself and how I can commit to myself. Discipline. Remember I said discipline and commitment are the best ways, whether you're a woman or a man. They're the best ways you can use masculine energy to support yourself and to grow. And, even as a woman, if you prioritize discipline and commitment around your feminine energies, you'll allow them to grow. As a man, if you use discipline and commitment around your masculine energies, how you can be more accountable, how you can have more structure, how you can be more disciplined. And I'm talking to you like the guys who are listening out there, like the discipline of that comes from like times you wake up, times you prioritize fitness, times you prioritize like, showing up for family or somebody else in need. Those are all very masculine things also. And as I've done that more, I've started to really love showing up for the feminine. And it's so easy. Like I was telling you about my Mexican mama, I go down on her and I check on if she needs anything, like I help her with all the heavy lifting, like carrying stuff, take her out, all of those things, because it's so subconscious now. Like even if it comes to money, I pay for shit that she needs. I'm like, don't worry about it. Money will come later. Because my healthy masculine allows the faith and the trust and the feminine that life will reward me. And trust me, it has. And when I get into relationships with women now my energy difference and my balance has like changed so much to the fact that I know I'm primarily attracted only to like the feminine energy. And so I've attracted women who represent such strong feminine energy. And what I love about them is they've been demanding. They're demanding of a quality of life they want. And I'm like, I want to provide this. So financially, it gets me to work a little more. In terms of time, it pushes me to be this man who actually can be protective, who can take accountability, to be responsible. But I'm not that Peter Pan guy. And this, I want to share with you, a lot of the men who identified like weaker masculine or feminine energy. Many of us are or used to be like Peter Pan men, and we don't even realize it. And that's where we want to run away from responsibility, go where the wind blows. We don't want to take accountability. Doesn't mean that life as a masculine has to be boring. It means that you just have to step into that structure to be able to make sure that fun comes in and around you. And I'm going to be really honest. I've noticed physical changes in myself when I've stepped in more into that masculinity. Like even the way my jawline appears, I'm like, oh my God, I look like I'm a guy who's going to have like a kid in like a few years. Like everything, not like dad body types, but I look so much more mature. I look so much more grounded. My body, my physique, everything is it's just going with the energy that I'm giving it. And my mind needs to have more of that feminine energy as well. And that's where like I need to now allow myself to rest, to trust, to relax. And I've attracted people and partners. It's so beautiful. I've attracted people and partners who I look at them relaxing and resting, and I love it. I'm in awe. Whereas the old me would be like, get up and go do something, value yourself, hit the gym, prioritize this. But when I allow them to rest and to be who they are, they naturally just pick up and flow and go do their thing without me pushing. And I realize this relationship now becomes so synchronous. It's not about like me having to like push them, but there are spaces where the feminine will challenge the masculine to rise above, and the masculine will challenge the feminine to be able to be more supportive and nurturing. And I think it's so important for both of them to, yes, challenge each other, but not to reject each other. There's a big difference between the two. And unfortunately, what we're used to in our conditioning, especially our wounded conditioning, is the rejection of the other because we don't even know our own energy ourselves. Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.